Stop ladies. My name is Chess, and welcome to the What If Zuko was Chroma Stone Part 1. But I'm thinking about making this into a movie part. So, in this What If, Zuko has, or is actually born as a, whatever those creatures are called. I looked it up and it was rock type alien. So, Zuko is a rock type human with, I'm giving him special abilities, and what I went off of Google thing, it was sorry, I'm trying to look for the student things. Where are they? Oh. And the things that I am throwing in is one that has the same powers as her, but except for he can control like a lot of his pieces, and he can call them back and like do all that stuff. But he has absorption, so, and all that stuff. But like a chromosome that is from Ben 10. If any of you have watched Ben 10, probably some of you aren't familiar with chromosome. So, yeah, so now Zuko, he was born as a rock. Or as a rock. Right. I was gonna say, I just thought about it yesterday, so, and I remember my original plan was to have him born as a, like, golem, like a cute toddler golem thing. But then I realized, no. And he had a sister named Zumi. So, yeah. So Zuko and Zumi came into that world, but they see that Zuko's special abilities. Yeah. So his special abilities is like, his body is, let's say his body is he is way too strong, and from a toddler, he lifted up the entire bed with just one hand. Or couch with one hand over his head. Because sometimes he throws these little tantrums. And it's a ways, like, he's mortal, so basically his skin is hard as him, like 100 times more. And where is he? Oh, he's also harder than him by 2,000. Plus, when they went to court doctor, and told Zumi that he has fire manipulation, like her parents. And Zuko, when he says, huh, seems like you don't have a quirk, but at the same time, you do. That confuses me. Yeah, so they said he was quirkless, as tells his parents that he has a confusing power. It's not a quirk, it's as and like all that stuff. It's similar situation to like what if Zuko was these two characters? And man, all of you are like on the reviews, like 2 videos that I posted was views were pretty insane. So this keeps up, please leave a like, share, subscribe. So let's continue. So Zuko is, so he had the same treatment as him. Like his mother didn't care about him, or his parents. They only cared about his sister. But Chromastone has basically or he actually has all the powers of Chromastone, so he's like an odd one out of the bunch. So he's like, I understand. So then as he like, yeah, now 15. And he wasn't using his quirk. Some of them thought he was using his quirk, so he's like, no. Unless someone shoots a laser at me. That's what he said to them. It's absorption. As they're like, okay. And when he entered into UA, like quirk assessment testing, well, let's say he took out 5 3-pointers and 2 of the 2-pointers and 4 of the 1-pointers. As he says, huh. Then the robots, like, actually, 0-pointer robot came and, like, was gonna kill old Choco under some rubble, as he says, as he runs over and grabs lifts the debris off, as he went and like did that. So he basically grabbed his crystals things, or actually scratch that. Not until, so he lists up some because he has super strength, so he moved that debris off of her and threw it at his zero pointer, and it hit his zero pointer with such force, it like pierced right through the brain. So, yeah. So now, Zuko is 100 times more powerful than anyone. So he got put in because everybody was stronger. So he got put into Class B with and rest of them, rest of those students. And it was Mirio who got bumped up to Class A with Zuko's sister. So he's like, okay. And then I'm skipping the ball throw thing. Okay. As he says, huh. Yeah. And then at the at the Heroes versus Villains, Class A 1 student versus like Class B student. So in this universe, so yeah. So it was Zuko Midoriya versus Yankee. I think that's how you pronounce his name, the one that's on top. Yankee. Hey. As he says, huh. Thank goodness this is just a test before. As then, ready, Yankee? Or ready, Laser Dude? As they haven't really met, so they're like, okay. There has to be a reason why. Hey, as he ends up shooting Zuko, as they thought he was dead because of that powerful blast. As that Inky whipped up. And man, oh man. And every Class 1B student was worried. As Blood Hero and Mr. Aizawa sees he's literally absorbing the attack. As he says, say goodbye. As he blasted with such power, right at a building, as he says, if I aimed it at you, you would have been dead about 5 seconds from my attack. As Blood Hero is laying, as everybody's like, what? How did he survive that? As one of them says, it's his unique power, as Eraserhead explains. Or actually, the Class A students were like, wait, what? It's his unique power, absorption. He can absorb the attack physically or mentally and shoot it right back at the opponent or at any object that he chooses. As Eraserhead couldn't, or actually, Blood Hero said that, and the Eraserhead says, or inside of his head, a man that can redirect attacks to anywhere else. As they, Class A, was so worried about, or no, Class B was so worried about his, so when he was working on this, so he ends up like doing all that powers as he trains harder until the next day he came look back in, and as Blood Hero says, as that ready for combat training, or it was actually USJ, so he went and or told him to get on a bus and to go USJ. They went to USJ with Class A, yes. As he says, as Zugu was pretty powerful. As, yeah. So, his unique skills. So, he also created, when it was the USJ ambush thing, as Zuko says, and I'm also giving him like Diamond Head's power of creating random diamonds things out of the ground. So, sorry. Ooh. So, yeah. So he created beautiful diamonds that surrounded the entire enemies. Like basically, and they were hard as steel, hard as everything. He didn't even, as he tells them that, let's get out of here before her. As he says, it's not disobeying you, but as a blood hero says, you're not. So he had the same thing as what Momo has, could create anything. But instead of a belly fatness, it's the crystals. So, and he can't be brainwashed, so, yeah. So the Zuku is overpowered. Basically has, hold on. He basically has these abilities. And the special move thing. I'm just showing the abilities. Don't worry about the top area with it. So he starts training harder and harder. As he says, I know that, as he says, only way to keep these contained is me. As it was the Blood Hero says, I know that you are trying to focus your energy to keep them at bay until pro heroes arrive, right? That was my plan. And as Mr. Aizawa says, that's a good plan, but still, your safety comes first. Yeah. If I didn't have this barrier around, then I would have gone with them. As he's like breathing heavily. Yeah. So then he ends up saying, well, I'll stay with you. Just needs 13. And as 13 runs back in and tells them that the pro heroes will come quick. As he's focusing, as he says, okay. As he's like coughing up blood. As Blood Hero sees it. Don't overdo your power, okay? Just a little bit more her. As Mr. Aizawa tells 13 that tell him to hurry. The student is trying to hold him in the position thing. As as 13 is like, okay, and yeah. So they ended up, or they went really fast. So they, as he's, as All Might tells Zuko to just let him go, okay? As he says, okay, as the crystals went down and he got, like, from the blood thing, as he, like, gets passed out. Like, basically, he slams his face on the floor. Let the bodies hit the floor. Sorry. I just had that song stuck in my head all night, so, yeah. So, the Zuko was basically down, sleeping. As Mr. Aizawa uses his, like, that to end up getting Zuko out of there before. As he have one unconscious eye thing, or like one eye open, one eye closed, as he says, "Oh my!" Strike him in the brain, that nomo creature. As All Might smiles, it's Achilles' heel. As All Might took him above that offer. As they're like, okay. As he's trying to, as his face was like what Sir Night Eyes had, and to trying to keep all of his focus on one thing at a time. So, yeah, as next Class A, Class B were because they were trying to get out, but the Zuku, or not Zuku, it was the automatic door system thing. And Zuku says, let me do that for you. Send back. As he used one of the other crystals, and like he basically pierced right through the door like it was nothing. And it comes back as he's like, as the next day, or yeah, next day, Nezu came in to check on Zuku, as Zuku was all bloodied up, or like his body. As Nezu says, or as he says, you're a principal, right? Yes, I am. How did you know me? Or how did you know I was coming in? As he, or as Zuku points to, you see that little glass, like, thing on a sign? And his power? No, no, no. That's too OP. His power is just like the Mushroom Girl. And yes, that's probably her superhero name. So, so Zuko had the same, like, powers as her, but instead of mushrooms, he, like, generate crystals from it. So, yeah. He could destroy anything with just put some of that powder in somebody and it kills them instantly. As they're like, yeah. So, as Nezu says, how are you feeling? As Zuko says, well, oh, I feel fine. It's me. As he says, it's just that much power. I really need to focus on trying to keep those villains from escaping from it. Yes, yes. But don't worry about you had two options. As Nezu is like, you had two options of it. Run or fly, or no, flight or fight. You chose to fight with the pro heroes. Or not fighting, actually, you said to them that to try to keep all those villains at bay until we showed up. That's a smart move. As a blood hero says, yeah, no one ever thinks about keeping them at bay until, okay? As he says, yeah. So then now the sports festival thing, Zuko was all healed up before. So he's like, clink, clonk, kink, conk. So Zuko was training harder and harder. Like and I was gonna put him as his base form and just have him wearing that armor. But Zuko's skin is actually Diamond Head's skin. So, yeah. So now, Zuko is pretty powerful. And he... Yeah, so Zuko was... He could... Because he's at 15, he literally could lift the entire building or the entire world with just one finger. Yeah. And yeah. So he can absorb the attack. So they basically so he's also a conductor too. So he human Pikachu is so there's no match against him, as I'm still keeping the same thing. But Zuko, I know that I know Chromastone here. I know Chromastone isn't that fast. He's just like walks humanoid thing. But Zuko, whose version, chromosome, is basically he can and have literally everything. Like literally, he is the fastest one. Think about it as a certain here. He got that. So he's way faster than him. Like, that's how fast Zuko could run normally. But when he's jogging, he's faster than Accelerate. He could outrun, like, or outjog Tinya. But if he runs, he could outrun everybody. So, yeah. So he's one man wrecking crew thing, basically. And during the fight one, Brain Dude forfeits the match, and then as he during the Bakugo Genjoraka or Chaco's fight, of course, Ochako lost, but Zuko, who used a diamond crystal surrounding her to make sure that she's safe. So Bakugo is explosions. It can't even pierce through. As he says, As he says, you can't take on someone that powerful. So, yeah. Zuko is the roundhouse thing. So he, yeah. As Ochako was trying to tell Zuko thank you, before, but twice for saving her life. Yeah, so Midnight sees that it's Zuko that did that. So he's like, or so she's like, huh, Earth or glass bender, not bender. I almost said that, but the Zuko is 100 times more powerful than it. So yeah, Zuko actually did something correctly. He actually did, like, when he's not in his rage state, he transform or he goes back into like his normal form. So he's a really tall guy, or not tall, but he's really he. That's his superhero costume. So Zuko was basically got codenamed as like Diamond Mirage, as or I was gonna name him the Crystal Beast one, or Crystal Tank, or whatever. So, if you have any name suggestions, put them in the comments below. Then I'll find one, and then I'll put them in the what the heck part. So now we move on to like Zuko against Hero Killer Stain. Stain being lost, as he says, you're gonna go to jail, as he puts the glass cuffs on him, the handcuffs made out of diamonds, or yeah, chroma stone type. So yeah, then he puts him behind bars, and things got too boring. Plus, I'm also gonna throw in not like I'm also gonna throw in something really hilarious. Yes, it's just hilarious. I am gonna throw in a beast that we all know who as that. He literally climbed out of the water on Earth, as I really don't know what Chromastone's like predator is, so hold on, let me. So I didn't find the predator to the Chromastone's people thing, but I sure did get like some using that fire creature. Sure, this one. So it came out of the water, and only two people that saw it was Ochako and Frebbit girl, or Frog girl. She tells the captain that I think something came out of a water and it's going to town. As it picks up Zuko's scent because he is Chroma Stone. So he says, something's coming this way. As Endeavor, or not, Endeavor, or heard that, like, what's coming this way, Zuko? Well, as he sees it's a beast, like, pounding around, as he sees that. So he literally ran full on charge at Zuko and hit Zuko so hard as he says, Crystal Beast, I presume. As that was, as he, the Crystal Beast in this what if is not the same thing as Yu-Gi-Oh! So, but this creature can eat, or actually, so Zuko, or Endeavor is trying to seduce it as he says it's immune to fire types. As he went through 25 walls. Boom, 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 boom. As he says, I had enough. As he pierced right underneath the creature's stomach. All the way through because he had a soft underbelly. Or actually, he had a hard belly thing, but the crystal was pierced right through all the way. As he says, as they're trying to fight against something that big. He was, or it was bigger than Blood Hero, and as he says, as Endeavor and everybody went and as he says, okay, remind me not to do this, something that. As it was, of course, Blood Hero was like, so that creature came after you because he is your predator? I think so, because I'm chromostones, or my DNA is chromosome. Basically, yeah. So, what does chromosome aliens do? He says that we have the ability to basically do anything that we want. Like, we can guide powers through the entire people. Like, basically, what you saw was just a taste of my power. Much more will come. And plus, as he says, plus, Zuko says there's probably going to be a couple more of those. And you're like, couple more, you say. And I didn't mean to add Yoda's voice thing to it, so don't sue me, okay? For it. Use a force, we must. So the Blood Hero says, well, if more of those things come to attack, what do they want? Well, as he explains, that to soften me up before they eat me. Because they are stone eaters. Or crystal eaters, so they eat crystals like it was nothing. As Mr. Aizawa, Nezu, All Might, all those pro heroes and students heard that, and they're like, okay. And Nezu is like, okay, Zuko, if they are coming after you because you're the basically chrome stone. And no, I'm not talking about the store. I'm talking about the Ben 10 one. To just keep it in check. So, Zuko is powerful enough to destroy all of us. So, he says, as, yeah, 2 more shows up. As that was only a following weekend camp arc thing. So, Zuko was, as he created a machine he had a lot of free time, so he created a lot of machines. So, to modify his powers. As Mr. Aizawa sees, or asks Zuko that, what are you doing? As Zuko says, well, I'm getting myself, or testing the limit of my absorption. So if each one contains different lasers things of each elemental thing. So they created, so it activated, after he snaps his fingers, it activates, and he ends up getting so much power that even he was his body was not breaking down, but he still contained it. So he ends up breaking Zuko. Sorry. So Zuko, who shoots a laser all the way into the sky, all the way past the sun, and all the way, as he didn't use all of it, so he's talking way too fast, and no one could understand his words as he says, "What are you saying, boy?" As he says, "I am talking fast," as he's because his absorption power, he has a little bit in him, so it's allowing him to go a little bit fast. Basically, like a charged battery. As so, then Zuko gets captured. And the Zuko was upset and he went totally berserk on them. So they went, or so he went, and he saw the other two creatures, so he killed both of them before, as he says, okay, now, as he had the power of flight, so no one knew that he had a power of flight, so he dang, as Class B student and Class A couldn't believe that he could fly. I know, it's not canon. Oh, it's not the... And Zuko, who has flight ability, when there's like extra powers. As hold on, before we get hit too far into this story, the Zuko was basically, or when in after the Quark Doctor thing, Bakugo, where is he? It used to be Bakugo that, oh, here it is. So Bakugo asked Zuko what is your quirk? Well, they marked me down as quirkless. Okay, so my skills or my abilities is, I call it croma stone. It's an alien type. As they're like, okay. As Bakugo says, as Bakugo or Zuko says, but there's one thing. Your powers or your quirks better than my abilities. No matter who's the strongest or who's the bravest, as long as we're friends, okay? As they both brofist, as they Bakugo is like always forever. As Zuko flew all the way to the villain's base because he actually planted a special crystal thing. As he flew down and he turned his body or into a giant hammer and he punched a wall as he says hello, as it was, or Bakugo sees it's Zuko as get you out of his joint, as he chops it down, as he says, now, now, he used glass things, like he turned his entire arm into a blade and sliced sliced the high nomus into like bacon bits. Yum. So Zuko was pretty powerful, but yeah. So Zuko was that powerful to. So he says, "Huh? Are you done here yet?" As Bakugo says, "Huh? Well, the." As he says, "Rennie, let's take them on together." As Bakugo and Zuko took out all the League of Villains with just little effort. Like, there was no effort at all. So, he even knocked the handyman out first before. And then, now All for One says, or actually, he looks at Bakugo and tells him to get out of here quick. As he grabs Bakugo and threw him, as he gets teleported to All for One. As, hold on, give me 1 minute, and so so All for One says, you must be Zuko Midoriya, the one that keeps you're a pretty powerful student. But your power will come to the end after I kill you. As All for One starts attacking, then he says, as then All Might shows up and like did their like little fight, but Zuko lost. Or no, All Might lost, and Zuko is mad as he still had some like power thing inside of him, as he like grabbed All for One and ran so fast that he ran up a building and he flew all the way to the sun. As basically threw All for One, or like he pushed All for One all the way to the sun. As he says, as his body starts, if I die here, this is his words said, if I die here, as long as my friends are still alive, I really don't give a crud. As, Zuko is the powerhouse. So he basically went full on throttle on it, as he actually absorbed, or actually like absorbed the extra energy thing from the sun. So he's now more powerful than anyone, as he like flies right out, as he was still feels the same as he shoots the fire or beam of fire out. Oh, yeah, he's crazy. Not as crazy as you hitting that like button. So now Zuko, who is the powerful one, so he flew all the way back and like he landed and he says, "What's up?" As everybody thought he was dead because of that. So, and he walks up to him. He also had a healing factor thing. So he healed All Might all the way to Prime. Name All Might. So basically, yeah, he removed the time limit. As he also used his powers as yeah. So during the overhaul thing, Zuko was basically down for it, as he even like used his full power. Or he saved his sister, as he says, as he separates himself off into 1,000 pieces. And they all turn into glass like shards. Basically as sharp as things, and like pierce right through Overhaul and like hurting him. And when he also controls Overhaul, so to separate into like back to the other four things and him. Yeah. So as he basically reformed, as no one expects him to do that. So they're like, what the heck? And he says, or some of them says, you shoot lightning, or you're a conductor, you're like all of that. As then Nezu says he should be in Class A, because with all those crazy abilities that he has. As they're like, yeah, I agree. As they moved him up to Class A, so, and moved the, I forget his name, but you know which one I'm talking about. The guy that's always annoying one. Not Monoma, or not the grapefruit guy. Monoma, the one that is in Class B. The one that's on the bottom. He got bumped down to Class B. As they're like, they saw how powerful Zuko gets when he really gets his power going. And like, he did all that. And now, for the... And Ochako literally walked up to Zuko and told him, thank you, but because she got so impressed by him, or her parents told her that she needs to marry Zuko. As plus, Inko respects Zuko now, and man oh man, they were happy. like literally. So Zuko and Ochako got married and had 2 kids. But little did Oraka know that he had a other ability of way big. And yes, he has different aliens or different like DNAs of aliens. So their daughter was that. Yeah, I know. In the other what if Deku got married to way bad? She was the wife of him. But that's okay. Zuko is pretty powerful. And so but she's has same abilities as her mother. As but she can grow to size past midnight. And yes, it is crazy. Yeah. So Zuko was and the other child were like I'm not gonna say, but that is kind of weird. And he actually in my original one, Zuko my original plan was for him to change all of like his green things into into his emotions. Basically into red, yellow, purple, or like any other color. Kind of like a certain person. And if you're watching this, Ravenclaw, I was gonna text or I'm gonna say this to you before. And huge shout outs to you, okay, Ravenclaw? And here, hold on. So sorry about that. And this is what I thought about. Like, kind of like that's what Ravenclaw's character does. Changes moods, depends. That's what my version of Zuko is. It's not fully copying, it's just his moods. So, no copyright strikes, no nothing of that, okay? So, I was just trying to grab the example from Google thing. So, yeah. That's how powerful Zuko is. More angrier he gets, and he shoots crystals, beams, things. And like he does all that. So, yeah. And his own daughter is so royal to him. And Ochako respects him as a father and all that stuff. So, yeah. So this is the end of the video, and now wait for the what the heck part to come out. So, sorry. Bye.